and gentlemen, the mass is open.
Okay. Cool. Order. Cool. Set. Hey. Order. Cool.
Candidate Dodson, please give the invitation.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you just for this evening, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, just for smiling faces, Lord God. We ask you, Lord God, to make one more time here, Lord God, and we just pray out, Lord God, to Colonel Nick, Lord God, that he may have a speedy recovery, Lord God. In the name of Jesus, we pray. We thank you, Lord God. Amen. You may take your seats.
OCS history. The idea for the modern officer candidate school for infantry was conceived in June 1938 when a plan for an officer training program was submitted to the Chief of Infantry by Brigadier General L. Singleton, Commandant of the Infantry School, Fort Benning, Georgia. No action was taken until July 1940 when Brigadier General Courtney Hodges, Assistant Commandant of the Infantry School, submitted a revised plan. The new program went into effect in July 1941 at the Infantry, Field Artillery, and Coastal Artillery Officers Candidate Schools. Other branches later followed with their own OCS. On September 27, 1941, the 1st Infantry OCS class graduated 171 second lieutenants out of 204 men who had started the 17-week course. The man credited with establishing the format, discipline, and code of honor still used in OCS today was General Omar Bradley, then Commandant of the Infantry School. As the Commandant of the Infantry School, General Bradley emphasized rigorous training, strict discipline, and efficient organization. These tenets still remain the base values of today's officer candidate school. Between July 1941 and May 1947, over 100,000 candidates were enrolled in 448 OCS classes. Of these, approximately 67% were commissioned. After World War II, Infantry OCS was transferred to Fort Riley, Kansas as part of the Ground General School. All other officer candidate schools were discontinued. On November 1st, 1947, Infantry OCS was discontinued. The final class graduated only 52 second lieutenants. future officers were trained for the Army in the first year, with similar numbers being trained in subsequent years. The mission of OCS remains to train selected personnel in fundamentals of leadership, basic military skills, instill professional ethics, evaluate leadership potential, and commission those who qualify as second lieutenants in all 60 basic branches of the Army. Standards, no compromise.
Mr. Vice, I see before us a glass of wine.
Yes, you do.
Is it palatable?
I do not know.
Then sample it and judge its purity.
I have sampled the wine, and it is an excellent selection, free of any impurities.
Ladies and gentlemen, charge your wine glasses.
United States of America.
To the United States!
To the Commander-in-Chief.
To the Commander!
To the United States Army.
To the Army!
The 11th Infantry Regiment.
To the regiment!
To the 3rd Battalion, 11th Infantry Regiment, OCS.
To the battalion!
To the officer candidates, past, present, and future.
To the candidates!
To our POWs, MIAs.
You are not forgotten! To our fallen comrades.
Please be seated. Sir, we will now perform the ritual of the Grog Bowl ceremony.
1774, United States Infantry was born. As the oldest of all combat arms branches, it is also the most diverse. From the mechanized infantry to the airborne air stock. From the basic grunt, yeah, the Special Forces Rangers. The infantry has many roles. And all share the same mission. To give the enemy every opportunity possible to die for his country. Everclear is the base of all alcohol. Yeah, boy. Just as the infantry is the base of all the military. Yeah. All right, good.
My colors are dark blue and violet. I'm 20 years old. On June 16th, 1775, Daisy Grant received his birthright. Daisy often deals everything not in combat arms. Plans into Dragon Ball. Cast and cream liqueur. Help. Almost there. And taste OCS coffee. You. All right. Today, engineers stand prepared to support the battlefield commander by executing their threefold tactical mission of mobility, counter-mobility, and survivability, as well as providing topographical support to the Army. Engineers assault fortifications as well as construct them. They reduce obstacles as well as create them. They provide topographical and terrain analysis support. They participate in the assault, river crossings, and amphibious operations.
This stand represents the engineers of design and construction.
Represents the engineers of breach and destruction! Fire the hole!
Quartermaster Corps was established on June 16, 1775. We handle everything from your supplies to your mortuary affairs. The branch city of the Quartermaster Corps contains a key which is symbolic for storekeeping. It also crossed by a sword which indicates military. The eagle is used as a national symbol, while the wagon wheel represents the transportation of your supplies. Therefore, I leave you with this thought. The Quartermaster Corps. From Class 1 and Class 10, there is a great mix. But like the Quartermaster Corps, none beats the mighty Class 6. First, to remind you that the Quartermaster Corps, that just like the Quartermaster Corps, the mighty Class 6 is absolutely the best. This pen and pencil is used to represent all the times you borrow supplies from us, never return them throughout the years. And for the rest of the supplies, and the supplies that you borrow from us for the rest of your career. The Quartermaster Corps, supporting victory.
Medical Service Corps. Service Corps has made several distinguished members contributing significantly to the history of the medical field, both care and knowledge. Starting with Dr. Walter Reed, who conquered yellow fever. He established the first medical school in the United States. And on top of that, he did one more thing. Distributed Demerol to everyone who needs it. Mighty Motrin. And we established the physical fitness standards for the Army. Yeah, right.
The caduceus, rooted in mythology, was established as the insignia in 1851. The caduceus has historically been the emblem of medicine, symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, promptness, and skill. The letters MS superimposed on the caduceus are indicative for the Medical Service Corps.
More Motrin? This is a caduceus, sir. A little snake in the wings.
Remember your fine meal, just to keep you regular, we have citrate or magnesium.
All right.
Support for our infantry and armored brothers. In order to provide dignity to what would otherwise be a vulgar brawl. The field artillery colors are scarlet to represent the fire and blood of sacrifice in battle. Therefore, we are giving aftershock, a scarlet liquor, to the grog bowl to represent that fire. All right, king of battle. Air defense artillery. The insignia's cross-dual guns indicate branch ties to field artillery. The superimposed missiles symbolizing modern developments. Our mission as air defenders is to protect the force and select geopolitical assets from aerial attack, missile attack, and surveillance. Ever prepared and vigilant, the air defense artillery branch is ready to live up to the motto of first to fire. We'll now add our contribution to the grog bowl. First, dead defect flies. A testament to our dedication as air defenders. Next, a 40-ounce of Mickey's for our future Stinger platoon leaders. Notice the stinger.
All right.
Finally, a 40 of red dog to symbolize the air defense color, scarlet.
2020, baby.
Yeah. Looks like I'm a winner, too. A guy who'll drink anything. That's the standard. Air defense.
You got something?
What I forget?
You can have it back.
Yeah.
I was General George Washington's personal escort and security force. We were there at the Battle of Fallen Timbers in 1794. We've been there ever since. We are now on the modern battlefield. Our constitution is broad. Our color of armor is gold. This represents the beard, for the oats and barley that our steeds used to use. This is our contribution. Modern battlefield requires more than that, though. Our second contribution is oil that keeps our tanks running.
Yeah!
Oh, standards. Armament for peace, direct support of combat arms. We are ordnance officers. We are maintenance management. Munitions management.
And explosive ordnance disposal management. This is the shell, representing munitions. This is maintenance, representing maintenance. Go ordnance!
Signal Corps was established in 1863 on the battlefields of the Civil War. From signal balloons to satellites, from the foxholes to the White House, the Signal Corps leads the Army in the information technology age. This fine bottle of spirits is the squelch that we signal officers use to keep your radios running. Beautifully ordained in the signal colors of orange and white. Signal Corps.
The Chemical Corps, created from the elements in 1918. The Chemical Corps is responsible for providing expertise in nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare. Through reconnaissance, through decontamination, and through intelligence. We can give you field flame expedients or cover your rear.
A provost marshal was appointed to General Washington's Army of the United Colonies in January of 1776. And Congress later established the provost corps to be mounted on horseback and armed and accoutered as a light dragoon. On 26 September 1941, the military police corps was born from a need to assist, protect, and defend. Since then, they have set the standard for combat support operations in every major conflict. The cross pistol insignia represents the 1806 Harper's Ferry pistol, the first official U.S. Army sidearm. As soon as we're finished cleaning up, we'll get you going. That's fine. We're pretty used to mopping up the rest of the Army and everything that needs to be done. Their green is for the soldier and the job he does in defending this great country. The gold is for the untarnished shield and the standards the MP soldier must uphold.
Yeah!
And the bottle is for the standard Irish tradition that the MPs carry. The mop is for every multi-purpose task the MP soldier is asked to accomplish. And for all of those who can't spell wimp without MP.
The Transportation Corps, established 31 of July, 1942, grew out of the increased necessity for centralized control and operations as a result of the Army's expansion during the mobilization and war years of 1940 to 1942. Suffice it to say that the Corps earned a place in the heart of every fighting soldier who reached for ammunition and found it. Transportation without them, it's forever clear that you wouldn't be able to get to the battle.
Like I said,
Military intelligence. Traces it towards and back
conflict. Long has it been evident that the foreknowledge of an enemy's capabilities and probable courses of action has great value to government and its military commanders. Our field of activity includes, among other things, cryptologic, signal, and imagery intelligence, electronic warfare, order of battle, and operations security. Yet it is with a nod to other parts of our mission, namely counterintelligence, human intelligence. We quite naturally add to this grog a dry martini. Shake. Not sure.
The utility side of the house. Both the core and division assets. Today, I bring to the garage some vodka to represent the color of JPH, which runs our engines. And our engines support the infantry with beans and bullets, casabac, search and rescue, and puts the air in air assault.
The United States Cavalry, we run strong in tradition. Our spirit runs deep from Custer's 7th Cavalry to the mighty 1st Cavalry Division Air Mobile. Performance in a place called I Drang turns uncommon valor into common virtue. Aviators have earned our nation's highest reward. The versatility of the U.S. Cav makes it indispensable in every conceivable mission. Air Cav.
Mr. Vice, is the grog ready to be imbibed?
It has yet to be sampled, but I fear that it may not be safe.
We will have success. Bring forth the most expendable officer.
Approach the table. Secure cup in left hand, ladle in right. Yeah. Scoop out grog and pour into cup.
There's some flies in there, bro. There's some flies, yeah.
Perform facing movement to fade class 400 and sound off it to the mat.
To the bus!
Towards the grog bowl. Salute the head table.
Mr. Vice, this grog's not complete. It's missing an obvious ingredient, and I know exactly what it is.
In your order, Mr. Candidate Brown Eye, add the essential ingredient so the grog may be consumed.
A sock, which represents the individual soldier, without whom our fine army would not exist.
Mr. Vice, have all the glasses been charged with the grog?
Yes, sir, they have.
I propose a toast. Class 400.
Please be seated.
Grog. Welcome to class 400. Guys, congratulations on our phasing into the senior phase. Tonight we celebrate, and we continue on hard work and task.
Mr. Vice, is this the food we are to eat?
It is, sir.
Is it a palatable dish, ready for consumption?
I do not know, sir.
Well, have you sampled the food?
No, sir, I have not.
Then sample it immediately to judge its palatability.
Sir, this fine cuisine is most tasteful and delicious. It is very flavorful and filling. Sir, the food is fit for consumption.
Very well then, we shall eat.
Feedback officer. Feedback officer, for a job well done, you are now allowed to pick one person from this class who made your job especially hard, and they must sample the grog. Go do it.
Whole ass.
Officer candidate Bollinger.
I'll take Captain Hilton.
I select Sergeant Jeffrey. I choose Sergeant Miles.
I believe Captain Cook also has one to add. I'll give Captain Cook the floor first. Go ahead, Captain Cook.
Being attacked. Teaching, assisting, counseling. We have sensitive items check, weapons check.
Sticky, but go ahead.
I don't know, maybe there's. Mr. Vice, I leave it to you.
I believe all weapons belong to the infantry.
Yockel has a very important point of order.
Speak, Senior Officer Candidate Yockel.
I wish I could say that this perpetrator has only smuggled alcohol or misplaced an M16, but this is way more serious than that.
Way more?
Way more. And I'm so disgusted that I can't even speak about it.
Senior Officer Candidate, speak back. I believe you can speak about it.
Mr. Vice, we know that the actions of the officer must always be above reproach, and the dishonorable acts of one officer diminishes the corps.
Yes, we do.
Well, it's come to our attention that one officer candidate in his class, for the past 11 weeks, the entire length of this course, has forced the DPAC into an unholy alliance using undue influence for his own financial gain.
Say it ain't so.
It is so, Mr. Vice.
Say it ain't
The
so.
perpetrator is you!
Do you have proof of this misdeed?
Officer candidate Yonkel is about to present the proof.
Senior Officer Candidate Kretschmeyer, please stand up.
Yes, Mr. Vice.
Present the evidence.
The unholy alliance is Kretschmeyer meat!
To get that meat in our defense.
Mr. Vice, I don't know how else you could spell a name that long.
Mr. Vice, there has been a gross mistake. That name is misspelled. They forgot the Z.
A cheap trick! A cheap trick!
I would have to go with Senior Officer Candidate's speed activation. And though they've removed the garage bowl, me as Mr. Vice, I have secured a corral. And a double time.
Hot, ran rock, Mr. Vice!
Take the whole crap back to your table. Start to see.
Yes, Mr. Vice.
I believe Captain Hilton told me to step up. I think I am. I'm consuming responsibly.
Sir, all members of the mess are present and seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Kenneth Wilcox was born in Osceola, Georgia, and entered the Army in September of 1978 at Fort Benning, Georgia. After that, he's held numerous infantry assignments throughout the world. He's been a drill sergeant here at Fort Benning at the infantry school, and an air assault instructor at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. After attending the Sergeant Major Academy in 1997, he was assigned as the Command Sergeant Major of the 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry in July of 1998. He's attended the First Sergeant course, the Drill Sergeant course, Ranger, Pathfinder, Air Assault, and Airborne. Within a few classes, Sergeant Major Wilcox will have attained his bachelor's in criminal justice at Troy State. Command Sergeant Major Wilcox awards and decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal, the 2nd Oak Leaf Cluster, the Army Commendation Medal with 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster, the Army Achievement Medal, 4th Oak Leaf Cluster, the Non-Commissioned Officer Development Ribbon with a numeral 4, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the 6th Award, and the Expert Infantry Badge, as well as the schools that I mentioned before. Sergeant Major Wilcox is married to the former Miss Deborah Faye Stewart, and they have 4 children, Jonathan, Jason, Janice, and Sunita. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major Wilcox.
I know OCS existed, and I saw you marching with those funny hats on your head. And you had your neck all covered. I thought you was from the Middle East somewhere, but I did not know that type of heritage that you have exhibited tonight existed. I'm kind of saddened that I had not got invited before, but I think it was waiting till I made Command Sergeant Major before I did that. Sir, I'll tell you, I'm honored to be here tonight. Lieutenant Colonel Osborne, to your Anthem Sergeant Major, who is doing some other things, just got imposed recently, Captain Preston, and your First Sergeant. I'm extremely proud to be a soldier tonight. Those who I have talked to you in the hallway and shook your hand and seen some of the things you've done by looking at your uniform, I am humbled. Simply because when you stand from our foxhole and sit where I sit, soldiers inspire you because you can see the end as a soldier when you get 20 plus years in the military. You realize the end is coming, and it's a sad day when you don't stand with a soldier again. And I want you to know tonight that OCS, this class, that you have been the highlight of my career thus far. I appreciate that. Surely there is no more talent or hope for the future than those of you seated in these seats tonight, in this hall. Each of you are products of soldier experience and will bring a varied level of opportunity and spontaneity to the role of leaders of the future. I envy you, and I wish I could trade place with you tonight. I wish that from my heart. Because the place that you sit in, because you're going to be leading the soldiers of the 21st century. The most lethal soldiers, the most educated soldiers, the most proud soldiers that the world can produce. Even greater than the soldiers that I came through training with some years ago. And I envy you because of that. However, looking at all of you, I am supremely confident that here tonight, amongst us, is the new future leadership of our army. And I can tell you right now that my wife, my children, and all those I love, and the flag of the United States will continue to fly high. Because what I see here tonight, the leadership, the camaraderie, and how you brought together as individual leaders, tells me that we don't have anything to worry about. I'll tell you a short story. Just a few years ago when I took over the 2nd Battalion, 58th Infantry Regiment, we had a group of Chinese delegates come down from China. And they had the Secretary of the Chinese, equivalent to the Secretary of the Army of the Chinese delegate here with all his entourage. And he marched himself in with all his entourage, and he had quite a few people with him. But they chose my battalion, and I had to choose a platoon, and that platoon had to choose a squad of soldiers to demonstrate the spirit of the soldier. And I can tell you when they left here, I can believe that they left here not in their mind that they're going to start a war with America, but they left in their mind that it's not time yet. And if that don't inspire an old guy like me, that's been around for some years now, I don't know what will. To see those soldiers as I took them through the demonstration phase and talk about the spirit of the soldier, how every one of these young men was a volunteer to serve their country. When they left there, they was impressed. But they was not only impressed, I was impressed. Because when they performed at maximum optimum. And they did not fail to do what I trained them, my drill sergeant trained them to do. And I can tell you right now, they left here with a sense of these soldiers are well trained and well disciplined. Truly, here in this room are our future. And it's most fitting for us to come together at this momentous time in in this place, a place where heroes have come through and walked these great halls, have stood at the platform and spoke as I'm speaking tonight. Heroes that I admire. It is very fitting that you and I meet tonight, because the story I bring to you tonight, I hope, will inspire you to lead us to a greater army of the future. I think you're here because you're on a journey. And when I began to think about what it was I was going to talk about, I said, surely each of these candidates started out as enlisted soldier, or I learned since I've been here that some of you started out in college, and somebody with a funny uniform decided to enlist you in the military, send you to basic training, and the next thing you knew, you were standing in front of a OCS cadre talking about standards. And with that, you're here. But each of you are on a journey to receive your covenant lieutenant bar. And I can tell you that for my foxhole, looking back on my career, and lieutenant that stands in front of his platoon after going through OCS, after having the experience of being a soldier, those are the lieutenants that know how to get the job done. Your journey will render you a leader of men. And why have I come tonight? I've come with a message. And my message is the soldiers that you're going to need in the future. I have a script here, but my heart kind of leads me away from my script, because I want to talk to you from an old sergeant's standpoint. You may think, well, I want to hear about what it's going to be like when I meet my platoon sergeant. How can I relate to him? What shall I do? But I think you know that, for the most of you. There's many books out there that you can read that will allow you to share their experience. Or some of you may be thinking, well, how can I solve the world's problem? How can I go over to Bosnia and solve the problem in Bosnia? But I think you're thinking too far ahead. And maybe some of you are thinking, well, where did this sergeant major going to just shut up and sit down? But for the most part, I think you should be thinking about, what are the soldiers going to be like that I'm going to lead in the army of tomorrow? And that's my message tonight. I came tonight with a story, and I call it the soldier story. Because right now I can talk about that, because I've also lived for 22 years. And now I'm a sergeant major who has the mission of training the infantry of the future. Many of our newspapers and our writers are saying that this is Generation X. And Generation X have a problem. But I decided as an individual to take the fact of the Generation X and say that's what society wants to do with all of our young men. They want to X them out. But when they came to me, my commander, my soldier, my drill sergeant, we decided we're going to utilize positive leadership. We're going to inspire these young men. We're going to lead them. We're going to be leaders and professionals before them so that they can get what they come to get, which is great leadership and the opportunity to serve and to be all that they can be. When they come to us, much like many of you did some years ago, they come to us very green. They enter our MEP station. They go through a transformation at the MEP station where they learn the Army system. And then we pick them up. And if you want to experience the pickup now and you compare it to when you came in as a soldier, you will see the dramatic transformation that takes place. And whenever these soldiers get to the battalion, the first thing we do is get these soldiers in front of the flag. And we talk about what the flag means, because it's important for every soldier to understand why he wears the uniform. Many of them, however, come in for the purpose of getting a college degree or college fund, but I can assure you before they leave here, that is the furthest thing from their mind. That is the ticket that lures them to our shores. But when they leave our barracks and leave our flagpole, they know what it means to be a soldier. And I want you to know today that that's what I want to talk about. And it did not come to me because I was pondering, trying to be profound, because I knew I had some guys from Yale University. And I had these guys from these great places of learning that would probably see if I was very profound. But I'm not going to talk about that now because I got many years to be profound. I'm just an old soldier, so I'm going to talk from the heart. These young men are ready and they are eager for good leadership. And from what I see right here tonight, they will get it from this group. And I want you to know that each of these young men come from the computer age. So that means that they want information quick. They want it now. That means you must know what your business is. You must understand the art of leadership. You must live the art of leadership before them, that they can look upon you and be inspired to do great things. And as I was walking last night on a 25-mile football, and it did not, I kind of reflect, sort of like in 1978 when I came to basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. And I told my girl I didn't take this type of challenge until I got in the regular school. But these young men was challenged so until each individual could not have made that 25-mile football without the other. It was designed for that purpose. And as they went through the course, every value that you have learned over the 14 weeks, every value that they have learned was made manifest before their eyes. They came to a realization they had to internalize each value. And I can assure you, as we got to our final destination, which was to culminate in a ceremony, what we call the cross rifle ceremony, they knew the weight of carrying honor on their shoulders. And I want you to know tonight that if you could look at those young men, and I understand that each of you have been through something similar, but if you could saw a young man from a leadership standpoint, and you ask yourself the question, why do soldiers follow leadership? Why do they follow me? Why do they receive my order and carry my order out as I command them? Simply because of good, positive, assuring, confident, motivated leadership. And leadership is that individual that do the things better than even man of his men. That's the kind of leader you must be. If you're going to lead these soldiers in the 21st century, you got to do everything they do and do it better than they do. Because you can tell them to do it, but they'll watch you to see if you can do it. Because they need that type of inspiration. And then it did not come to realization until at our cross rifle ceremony, we have the 7 candles around the flagpole. And each candle represents one of the 7 Army Corps values. And each of the soldiers knows at that point, at what point in the 14 weeks training cycle, that they epitomize one of those values. And then we talk about the flag, we talk about the colors, and most of all we talk about the soldier. The soldier whose heart is burning with the desire and the courage to keep America free. And I can assure you, at the end of that 14-week cycle, the furthest thing from their mind is, when am I going to get my college fund? And when can I go to the university? That is very important, but it's not as important as making sure that their fellow soldiers do not fall on the battlefield. And if you can stand with me for a moment and see what I seen last night, and for the years I've been in training at this brigade, it will bring tears to your eyes. But as I stand before you tonight, I can see by looking and talking with you from this thus far that I have nothing to worry about because you understand what it means to sacrifice your life for your country. And I am deeply humbled. The final thing that these soldiers do is they recite the infantry creed. And as they're reciting the infantry creed, you can see the teardrops form in the corner of our eyes. I can tell you what, if that don't move you as a leader, to make sure that your orders are clear and concise, that you're accurate in your planning, that you'll prepare yourself. Because when you lose war on the battlefield, which I have not been fortunate to do, and God bless me with that, when you lose war on the battlefield, when I read the books of those who have lost soldiers, when you lose war on the battlefield, you never forget it. You never forget it. What an awesome responsibility you have. But I envy you. You carry everything that I have come to be as a soldier. The weight, the privilege of leading America's best. And I can tell you right now, I stand before you tonight to say that I am not worried. My body is old, my knees are cracking, my bones are aching, my head is hurting, but I'm not worried. Why? Because you stand in the foxhole. And what I see tonight, the men and women of this class will carry the flame of the soldiers high, and you will not let them die because of lack of leadership. And I want to leave tonight with a quote, if I can find it, if I get my notes, by General Powell. And I think that it says everything that I would like for you to know tonight. General Powell said it so well a few years ago. If you want soldiers to work hard and endure hardship, they must see you sacrifice for them. They must see you do the hard things that they are doing. They must see you giving credit to the platoon for something good and accepting the responsibility for something that is not done just right. Each of you must understand the inner strength that soldiers want you to see and want you to be. Each of you must understand and know the reality of caring for soldiers, because the sacrifice that each of them make for you is greater than you can carry on your shoulders. And in conclusion, as I close my inspiration to you tonight, as I close one old soldiers to new lieutenants to be, new leaders of the Army, never let a soldier die on the battlefield because of the lack of leadership. The indictment is against you. I've seen bad leadership, but I also seen good leadership. I know bad from good. Every soldier that you lead are willing to give his life for the honor of making sure that your mission will be accomplished and that the freedom that America espouses will be maintained. Good luck to you on your graduation. I hope those that pin the bars on your shoulders understand the weight that they're putting upon you. And I hope you understand the responsibility that I expect as I leave to go to the retirement land in the future. Godspeed to you. God's grace be unto you. Most of all, we the soldiers salute you. God bless you.
Class 400, you'll take your seats.
Candidate Young, will you please give the benediction? Inspired by the bagpipe, I changed my benediction. Please bow your head. O high King of heaven, my victory won. May I reach heaven's joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, O ruler of all. Amen.
Amen.